Hey guys, Cameron here. It's been a little bit since I've done a gear review, so I thought I would do one over the newest hammock that I've bought. I actually got two of these at the same time. They're identical besides the color, and what this is the Warbonnet El Dorado Hammock. I bought one for my son and one for me. These are going to be used primarily for car camping, so the configuration that I bought is set up mainly for that. There are lighter options. But this is what will work well for what we're going to use it for. So I just thought I'd give you a quick overview of what the Warbonnet El Dorado is all about, and just talk a little bit about it, give you a few specs on it, and set it up and show you what it looks like. So let's tell you a little bit about the stuff sack to begin with. It comes with a single-ended stuff sack, not the double-ended, which I actually prefer it this way. And the stuff sack also has these two little tabs, which will come into play a little later whenever we get the hammock set up. So just your basic single-ended stuff sack, and let's get it set up and see what it looks like. Guys, this is the Warbonnet El Dorado. This is the blue color they just came out with, I think, within the last year. I got my other one in their typical green color they normally have. This is a really cool color option that my son really likes, so I got this for him. There are a few really cool features of this hammock. One is this bug net completely zips off if you don't want it on here, which I'll show you here in a little bit. You can also zip down one side of this bug net and roll it back if you just want it pulled back for the day. It has this option right here. I don't know if you can make this out in the video. There's a bungee cord that goes down to a tent stake that you can stake in the ground to kind of pull your hammock out. Make it where it's not so drooped together in the middle when there's nothing in there. And it's totally not required to set up this hammock. It just keeps it a little more stable, especially if you don't have something in there. And it just helps keep everything pulled apart a little bit. One really cool feature of this bug net is that it's completely reversible. So you're not stuck laying with your head to the right or the left as you are in some hammocks. You can completely zip this bug net off and flip it over whichever direction you want it, and you can lay whatever's comfortable to you, which is a really cool feature, and one that I really like. If you can make it out right here, there is the stuff sack hung up on the Ridgeline, and I'll give you a little bit better shot of that here in just a minute as well. This serves as your Ridgeline organizer. It's just a really neat feature that they came with. It's cost saving, it's multiple use gear. Just something really neat. Now with mine, I went with just their typical webbing and buckle suspension. To me, that is the simplest suspension they have. It is bulkier, it is heavier, but like I said, I bought this primarily for car camping, and it's easy to me, and it works out really well. Also, I bought it because I can hang two hammocks next to each other and spread them apart with my trekking pole, which I did a video on, and I will link just below this video in the description and show you how I set that up. That way me and my son can lay right next to each other. This hammock is really comfortable. It's 11 foot. It is basically built on the Warbonnet XLC body, with the exception of it doesn't come with Warbonnet's like trademark shelf that you can reach over and stuff your gear down in the side from the inside of the hammock. That is one reason I was a little hesitant to get it, but I've actually really enjoyed this Ridgeline organizer, and you can actually fit a lot of stuff in there. I did notice whenever I had one of their hammocks with the shelf, I could feel the pressure of the stuff right up against me. I didn't really care for that if you put heavy items in there. So it's not actually a big feature that I missed on this. Now, the main reason that I bought the Warbonnet El Dorado is I got these on sale from Warbonnet on one of their sales. They run really good sales typically on big holidays throughout the year, and I got this full feature hammock for $100, and I got two of them. So if I was looking at getting another full feature hammock like this at full price, normally that may cost anywhere upwards to say $200 each, and I believe the Warbonnet El Dorado by itself normally is somewhere around 140, just depending on which options you get. Now this one is the single layer 1.7. I got this for it's just what works best for me. we're probably not going to take them winter camping or anything like that. I don't need to stick a pad through the 2 layers. That's not something that's comfortable to me. So these are mainly for just lounging and camping during summer. That's why I went with the single layer. Yeah, so if we ever do go camping in cooler temperatures in hammocks, we'll definitely have under quilts. But I just went with the single layer, cheaper that way. I'm not going to use the pad, so the double layer didn't really make sense for me. I'll bring the camera in closer and show you a few of the up close features of this, and then show you what it looks like without the bug net. This view of what the ends of the hammocks look like. This little piece of bungee is just on here to completely seal the end of the hammock. Now if you want to unzip the bug net completely off here, you would pull this bungee up. It exposes the end of the zippers, and then you're able to zip the zipper completely off. This bungee is real easy to move around. It just seals that up in case there are some real small bugs that want to get in the tiny little crack right there. That completely seals it up, so you're still 100% bug free. So something really neat about this hammock too is not only can you take the bug net off and flip it over or put it however you want, you can also get in from either side, which is important if you are, say, up against trees on one side, or if like me, and whenever I plan to set it up with my son, there will be another hammock directly on the other side of me, or for whatever reason, you're able to get in on either side. And the way that works is it has offsetting zippers. So the way it's set up here, you have zippers down here on this side. On the other side, you have zippers on this side. So whenever you flip it over, you will be able to lay the other direction based on how this net is set up. So it's real simple. The zipper splits right here. It doesn't go all the way to one end, and you can zip it either direction like that, and then just flip it up, and you're ready to get in just like that. Just a really cool, ingenious way they did the zippers and the top cover. And another really cool thing about this is, since this is set up like the Warbonnet XLC, I believe a lot of the same accessories that go with it, top covers and things like that, will actually fit this hammock. So I'll hop down inside, lay out, and just really flat lay the way you can get in here. The 11-foot hammock really makes it a lot better. It's pretty easy to zip up, zip it to right here. And the cool thing about having the zipper stop here is it's always right here by your shoulder. You always know exactly where you pull them together at. So just a really comfortable flat lay. And whenever I get my son in his, he is 6 years old, so he's fairly small, and there's a ton of room in here for him to move around. And one, just being a 6-year-old, he loves playing around in the hammock, but he also loves sleeping in it, taking naps, and just hanging out in the hammock. It's a really fun thing for kids to do on a nice day. So the way I've got this set up right now is with the bug net just flipped back, rolled up, and then it has a tie right here that'll tie all the excess back out of the way. I can move this shelf closer down to me, farther back away from me, however you want it. And with these knots that it has on here, it helps hold tension and it'll stay right wherever you put it. This way is just great for if you're out on a nice day, or it's kind of breezy and there's no bugs. Have this flip back, tied up, out of the way. Then later in the evening, if it gets buggy or you need something to block the wind just a little bit, you can flip that back over, and does a great job of that. So let me show you what it looks like with the bug net completely removed. And here's a quick view of the hammock without the bug net. Just your typical parachute hammock, lay either direction. Just really great setup for when there's no bugs out, or just hanging out on a nice day like today around the house or the park. Just a cool setup. I really love the option of being able to completely take off the bug net, completely transforming the hammock. So here's a little better shot of what the stuff sack looks like hung up as a Ridgeline organizer without the net on here. Just easy to get in and out of, and you can slide it up and down this line to put it exactly wherever you need to get to all your stuff. And you can actually fit quite a bit of stuff in here, and I've actually kind of enjoyed this more than just your typical Ridgeline organizer. It's a great way to get a multi-purpose item and save a little weight at the same time. All right, let's talk about the weights of this hammock. Now, this isn't a super ultralight hammock or anything like that, but it does have quite a bit of features. It does have a thicker material to hold up slightly heavier weight, and it's just a really well-built hammock. Now, the version that I have, the 1.7, with this suspension that I have, is going to weigh in around 1 pound and 10 ounces. That doesn't include the carabiners you're going to need separately to go on there. So this hammock with, like, say, a whoopee suspension can go anywhere down to about 1 pound and 8 ounces, somewhere in there, all the way up over 2 pounds. So 2 pounds and 4 or 5 ounces would be the heaviest you could get with the double layer. But anywhere right in there. So it's not going to be super light, it's not going to be super heavy. It's kind of right there in the middle. This is slightly lighter than you would get from, say, a Warbonnet XLC because of the extra material of the shelf and things like that. You're saving 2 or 3 ounces off that, but you're also saving a ton of money, which is, like I said, one of the big features of why I went with this hammock. All right, guys, so that is the Warbonnet El Dorado Hammock. I think I mentioned earlier in this video something about $140. That is including the suspension. So basically, here's the rundown, what's on their site right now. It goes from $125 just for the base hammock without suspension for the single layer like what I have here, all the way up to $175 for the double layer hammock. And plus suspensions for the buckles are $10. For whoopee suspension is $15. So you can fully customize it to however is comfortable for you. But I highly suggest, if you are in the market for a good deal, wait for one of Warbonnet's overall just great sales they do at the major holidays. They do some really awesome sales, and I picked this setup up for $100, which is an awesome deal for a full feature hammock. So they make some really great stuff. I've had several other hammocks. I've had the Blackbird, I've had the Ridge Runner, I've had the Traveler, and now I've had this. Super happy with every one of them. Just love to try different stuff, but I think this is the hammock that we're going to stick with for a while now. Great deal, great for car camping, me and my son. Not the lightest in the world, but it does have a ton of features, and I'm really excited to get out and use it more. So guys, if you have any comments or questions, post them down below. Thanks for watching, and if you are in the market for a great hammock, check out the Warbonnet El Dorado.